Obituary is only 175 words. What do you want those 175 words to be?
The transparency is what I'm saying. You have a lot of it in your house, and we should.
It's been the hardest, some days the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
You have gone to the brink, but you haven't broke.
If you don't instill faith in your household, I mean, the world is ready to do it for you.
Hello, Fortitude audience. I am Amos. I'm here with my wife, Heather.
Hello.
And today we are joined by Paul TenHaken.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hey, thanks for being here.
I'm honored.
We
Thanks for the invite.
Awesome.
are excited about this. Paul, as a man of faith, as a husband, as a father, and you just happen to be mayor as well. But we're just honored to have you here. We've been watching your career, and we're so proud of you. And we're grateful for that. And the reason why I'm doing the intro is because Heather would go on and on and on about all the proud things we are.
Oh,
We have about you. So
no, you guys still live in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
don't judge us.
I'm not your mayor. I'm a mayor.
No, you are.
We have a very small town that could use it really great. Yeah. So anyways, we want to keep this podcast more on the personal side of things.
Yeah,
Just
love
who
it.
Paul is. And so we're excited about this. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I think back to, I said I was not going to get into all the woo and everything and all of our past history, but
Way back.
way back, like 2009 is when we met. But I have, in following your journey and having an opportunity to meet your wife and Nora, and our ministry is all about reviving the heartbeat of the home. And we've gone through what we've gone through, and it's hard. It's marriage, parenting, your faith, standing strong in your relationship with Christ. Like, how do you do it, Paul? Like, share a little bit of, like, on the day-to-day, like, what are your conversations like with God?
Well, first off, thanks for having me on with you guys. I think a lot of you both, so this is fun, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to have the conversation. I know off air, we're like, oh, we want to just keep it personal, not about being the mayor, but it's hard to separate that. So I do want to, first lead with, like, that's a big part of my current, like, worldly identity is that role. I'm term limited, so depending on when people listen to this, I'm close to the end or maybe even done, depending on when they listen to this. But was elected in 2018 and will be done in June of 2026 here. So almost done. But it's been the hardest, some days the worst thing I've ever done in my life. And like other days, like this week, we had a really fun day, a fun announcement for a great thing for our community. It's the greatest thing ever. But it has tested my faith like nothing has ever tested my faith.
Really?
Oh, it's incredible. In these times we're in right now, how much our world just needs the Lord, how much our world needs faith, how much our world needs hope, and something that the world can't provide. So people are looking for surety and assurance and comfort, and they expect to find it in elected leaders a lot of times. I'm like, man, if you're expecting to find your salvation in a president or a governor or a mayor, I'm like, I'm sorry, they're going to disappoint you a lot. So I've had to just, really lean into my faith hard the last 8 years, specifically when the pandemic came in 2020, worst year of my life, trying to lead the city through that, lead the community through that. And that's when I really just got thick. My skin got thick. My leadership was tested. And with the benefit of hindsight, so glad God took me through that because I'm a way better person. My faith is way stronger. At the time, I couldn't really make sense of why God was taking me through that.
Yeah.
And now I'm so glad he did.
Isn't that funny how we go through those things and we might say, I went through that. I'm so grateful for it. But then again, you might say, I wouldn't do it again. Like how do you rationalize
Well,
that?
we were like in the midst of the pandemic, which just sucked for leaders because there was no right answer on anything. I had to just spin it positively to myself every day just to get out of bed because my mental health was in a bad place. I just did not want to do this job anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at it like this. I was like, well, you can go on Amazon or Barnes and Noble or wherever, and there are like thousands, hundreds of thousands of books on leadership and how to lead and blah, blah, blah. I get to like put these into action today. Like, I am living in a crisis of leadership and I'm the guy. Like, how lucky am I? How lucky am I that I actually get to live it out? All these other chumps, they just have to read about it and like hope that they get to live this out someday. I actually get to do it. Like, wow, Lord, what a blessing this is.
What an amazing perspective.
That you're giving me this opportunity, that you put me in the chair during this time, during such a time as this. That, like, I'm the guy. Like, what an honor. So I had to look at it that way.
Gosh darn it. Like, that's the fire hose. That's a like, to spin it in that positive way. A lot of people do not do that.
Had to, or I would have lost my mind. You know, you had to, like, what's the lemonade in this situation? Because, and it's also why I've been a huge mental health advocate coming out of the pandemic, because I saw so many people who didn't spin it positively, and I saw what a mental health crisis emerged from the pandemic in our community.
Yeah.
With suicide issues and youth mental health issues and adult mental health issues, for that matter, addiction issues. And so, yeah, I mean, your attitude is 90% of the battle and things like that.
So is that one of the main things that you did? Just spun it? You spun it from a positive gratitude standpoint? Or like, what were some other things that you had to put into play in order to get through some of that tough stuff?
Well, I would say my faith, my personal faith and devotional life really got locked in. Like, I had to literally like start every day with prayer and devotion, because I'm like, I do not know how I'm going to get through this day. Because I don't know if you remember the first 3 or 4 months here of the pandemic. I had to get on TV every day at 10 a.m. We'd have a news conference. I have to go live on TV, and I have to try and assure the community that we had things under control. And of course, a human, a man, me, I can't control an airborne virus in 85 square miles and 200,000 people. Like, what?
Oh, come on.
What the heck am I supposed to do? But yet you're supposed to go on TV and like, oh, we're flattening the curve and blah, this is going on. And we're going to, you know, you got to wear a mask when you walk in the restaurant, but once you sit down, you can take it off. And like, oh, this makes total sense, you know, and this is what we're going to do. And like, it's so stupid when you look at it, but that's what we were supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every morning I was just like, Lord, how am I going to get through today? Like, I just get me through today. So I just needed to lean into faith big time during that period.
So it's fair to say that the situation that you were in, as in you're the mayor, it was out of necessity that drove you into making these decisions, the morning decisions.
Yeah, I mean, my faith has always been a part of my life. It's, you know, ever since I was born into faith, born into a Christian household, and devotions, personal devotions have always been a part of my life. But I really just got so locked in and close with the Lord during 2020. Yeah. Just had to, because everybody else just not abandoned you, but man, you made a lot of enemies that year.
Yeah. A lot of persecution.
And it wasn't because people were mad at me. They were just mad at their circumstances. Yeah. They were fearful of losing their job, fearful of the economy, fearful that their grandma might die, fearful of, you know, that their kid couldn't learn in school, like whatever it was. And they needed a scapegoat. Yeah. The scapegoat was elected leaders in a lot of cases. Mm-hmm. So you just had to look at it like, hey, they're not pissed at me. They're pissed at this worldly circumstance we're in, and they need a throat to choke, you know. Yeah. It's going to be me. Then I'll just accept that, but it doesn't make it easy. No. So I just had to take it to the Lord every morning, you know.
You said you were born into a faith-filled home.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share just a little bit of what that was like? Because there's a lot of people who listen to this who are not. They haven't been told the story even, and they may just be tuning in because you're the mayor. But what is it like? What can you look back and go, like, Mom and Dad, it was these moments, or there were certain things in your childhood that helped you out in the moment that you were talking about just now, like locked in?
Yeah, I mean, good question. I'm going to church and praying and, just talking about a relationship with the Lord was just a part of my life as far back as I can remember. And so I went to a Christian school my whole life. And so not only was it present in my home, but then I would go to school and we'd have Bible class and, we'd have a Christian-based worldview that was, was kind of woven through all of our subjects from, science and math to physical education, whatever. So I just really grew up my whole life with a Christian worldview kind of surrounded with me, whether it's church youth group or, my school or, my parents, tithing, just making sure that, the money that we earn and that we have is not ours. It's the Lord's. He lets us keep 90% of it, which is incredible. He only makes us give back 10% of his money, which is pretty incredible. So I always just have looked at money that way. And so, yeah, was just raised that way. And, then went to Dordt University in Sioux Center, Iowa, Christian liberal arts college that continued that worldview, but really kind of pounded it home even further, which in a lot of ways, I attribute a lot of my faith today as a business leader to what, what I learned at Dordt through the Christian business courses I took there and through the curriculum that I took at Dordt. Including, a couple of courses I took from now President Eric Hoekstra, who's the president there. He was a prof then, and you just have a few profs that just really resonate with you. He was that guy to me and really inspired me, and he's still one of my good friends.
Yeah. What I'm hearing in that is your faith was normalized throughout your life, just daily life.
Yeah.
It was normal, and so that's the foundation for why you turned to that in these hard times.
Yeah, I'm not one of these people that I went to church camp when I was 11 and, we all held hands around a fire and I gave my life to Christ too. So I could never have that. It's just been a constant in my life.
What do you say to those dads who have culture pushing in on their family, who are not normalizing that faith and what they say, I want to normalize faith in my family. As a leader, I could just see it. I've got culture pushing in on this. I got my job pushing in on this. I got my kids saying this. I got Netflix in my house telling me this. Tell my kids this. What do you say to that? What do you say to that, Dad?
Well, I mean, if you don't instill faith or some sort of value system in your household, I mean, the world is ready to do it for you, and so your kids are hungry to learn from you. They're watching you all the time. And I even think of that when I'm in church and I'm singing, and my kid is standing next to me. I want him to actually physically hear me singing. I'm not a great singer, but he needs to hear his dad actually singing. He needs to sometimes see his dad holding his hands out to the Lord, with emotion. And here's this guy, this big, powerful guy in the kid's eyes, just surrendering to God and just being an example. And so there's no better person to be a role model to your kid than your dad. And it's a huge responsibility. Being a parent is a massive responsibility. And I see a lot of dads that are falling down on that. And there's a computer in every kid's pocket that's waiting to influence our kids if the parent doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And so it's harder and harder in today's world to influence our kids at home because there's so many things competing for their attention.
Yeah.
And so many things that are being normalized that shouldn't be normalized, but they just are. So the pressure to be a dad of faith and of character in our kids' lives is immense right now.
And you blink and a year has gone by and the world has taught your kids for a year.
Totally.
What's the Chinese saying? The best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the best time to get involved and really get active is yesterday.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you, getting down to real brass tacks, my kids have never had TikTok, right? They've never had Snapchat. They've had screen time their whole life. They, we police these phones like hawks. And I know there's workarounds and stuff, but you have to have restrictions on things like that. I show them my own screen time. I mean, if you look at my phone right now.
You share your screen time with them?
Yeah. I mean, and if you see all my social media apps are blocked out because I have screen time every day. So I show that to them.
Yeah.
Because I say, this is like junk food in your body.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of it every day is okay, not a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, your old man practices what he preaches,
That's pretty.
And so you rules for thee, but not for me. I mean, they pick up on that. If you say, hey, get off your phone, it's enough.
As you're looking at
And you're sitting there like, they're like, what a hypocrite.
right.
It's like, so I think that stuff's, very important. And they see, are you bowing your head before your meal and blessing it, right? Are they seeing you crack your Bible and having some quiet time when you're encouraging them to do it? Are they seeing you do it? Are they hearing you actually sing in a church service? Are they seeing you actually, cut a check or give money to a church? And that's why, today in modern day church, in giving, a lot of it's ACH or you use Venmo, or kids don't see you ever give.
Automated. Yeah.
Yeah, like write a check.
I remember growing up, my parents, you'd see them like put money in something, and it's like, oh, my dad just gave some money. Well, my kids never see us give money. So we have to sit them down and sometimes say, hey, I want you to know, I'm not saying this to brag, but we cut a check for XYZ to this organization this week. Or we transferred money to them. You didn't see us do it, but here's why we did that. And we believe in their values and what they're doing, and it's a good organization.
Yeah.
And I don't think they quite understand. They're like, okay, thanks for telling us that. They're like, whatever.
It's in there though.
But hopefully they're going to remember that, right? They're going to remember. It's like, I remember my dad used to sit down and tell us when they would give money to something. Right. So yeah.
The transparency is what I'm saying. You have a lot of it in your house.
Ton of it.
And we should.
Yeah.
Yep. That is, we do not those exact same things, but we have a lot of transparency in our house, and we make them pray. I mean, pray out loud. What do you want to talk to God about? Prayer is number one in our lives every day, all day, often as we want it to be, right?
It's the leading by example, especially for older kids where you can't really verbalize something. They're going to hit their firewall as they get older, right? And so you just got to do it by leading and not being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
As little hypocrite as possible. And I love the fact that you're showing your screen time.
Yeah.
Like there's a dozen other things that you could do throughout the day to be more transparent and lead your kids to show how mommy and daddy do it.
You just taught me something. Thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, just that whole, like, I don't sit on social media, but like texting.
Yeah. Yours would be hours of collaborating.
I'm collaborating, and we're planning things, doing things, and
I hate text messaging. I can't wait till I'm done with this job. Half the texts I get right now, can't respond to them. It's like, ugh. It used to be you hated email. Now it's like no one emails, they all text, and like I hate texting. Like, ugh.
Okay, we'll call you next time.
Don't call me either. I hate calling.
Yeah.
I just hate communicating.
Leave it alone.
Can we go back to faxing or something? Like,
just taking a walk outside and just, hey Norm, hey, hi.
Yeah.
Head down.
Send me a letter. Send me a letter.
Send me something in the post.
Fortitude Ministries is bringing a Women's Regional Faith Summit to Sioux Falls on May 8th. Please make sure you get your tickets. Grab your girlfriends, grab your mom, your grandma, even your daughters, and bring them to the Ransom Church in Sioux Falls on May 8th. And we will see you there for food, for fellowship, for speakers, and inspiration. For tickets, please go to Fortitude's Instagram or Facebook page, and you will find a link available to purchase your tickets. So obviously, without the phone, but I think about how God refines each and every one of us. I feel like every day I'm learning something. God is just keeps planting, and I keep like glory to glory. Like I just want more of Him. So how, when a lot of distraction is going to go away for you, like how do you want your time? What is He refining in you, and how do you want to like move in that with Him?
Well, I'm in a really weird stage right now in that I'm going to be out of a job in a few months, and I'm a master of nothing at this point. I've been a mayor. I know a little bit about everything, a lot about nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, what am I supposed to do next? And, but at 48, I'm starting to figure out what I'm good at. And I love people. I love developing people. I'm good at leading people. And I love bringing people to the Lord and getting people to live out their faith and realize that your time on earth is finite. And listen, there's only one thing that's going to live on beyond time on earth, and that's, your salvation.
And others.
So if you're not focused on that, and that's not first in your life, you're really missing the boat.
Yeah.
And so I would love, God's really working in me on that to, maybe use my next chapter to help people find more balance, less time at work, less time on hobbies, more time on their faith, their family, physical health, things that will help them be better versions of themselves and help them realize that, their salvation should be first and foremost in their life, and their relationship with the Lord should be the first and foremost in their life.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of people just living like they can put it off, and that, hey, I got a lot of time, and I'm listening to Strength to Strength right now by Arthur Brooks. It's a fantastic book. It's so
we
good.
just read it, yep.
But he talks in there about, and I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but it's something like half of all people think that middle age is 7 years after the average lifespan. Okay. So the average lifespan of a male is like 76.
Yeah.
So half of all Americans think middle age is like 83 or old age, I should say, old age.
Yep. Okay.
Old age is 83.
Yeah.
Well, that's 7 years after the average person dies. So bottom line is we all think we have more time than we have, right?
Yeah.
We don't.
Nope.
And so you have to really come to grips with that. That's the only thing we all have in common in this room, is that we're all going to die. It's the one thing I know we all have in common.
Yeah.
And so when you face that reality, and I have my own obituary written. I could read it to you. It's in Google Drive. It's been written for many years. I refine it all the time.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have your obituary written right now, and you refine it.
Well, I refine it every year because it guides. It's like a roadmap on how I want to live. So it says, Paul TenHaken served as mayor until 2026. He then went on to,
Yeah.
and then I have it written out what I'm going to do.
It's the conclusion.
Yeah, because if you don't write it out, you're just kind of letting life happen to you.
Yeah.
I wonder what I'm going to do next, but it's planned out. So, and I'll probably have to refine it at the end of this year, based on what happens, but I'm very intentional, about how I live and what I'm planning to do and how God speaks through me on what he wants me to do. And so, it's a challenging exercise. I challenge everyone I talk to spend time and write your own obituary. And the average obituary is only 175 words. So your life's going to be boiled down to 175 words.
Is that how long yours is?
I don't know. It's probably a little longer.
He's 180. Yeah, he's got to have a little extra fluff in there.
But that's the average. I mean, there's a study that I was just digging into recently. It's 38 million obituaries that were studied, thanks to AI now. 38 million obituaries, and the average obituary is only 175 words. And so your whole life is boiled down to that. And what do you want those 175 words to be?
Mm-hmm.
And I was, start reading obituaries. When you see them, start reading them. And you'd be like, they all read the same for the most part. It's so-and-so was born here, grew up, married this person, worked here until he done. He enjoyed fishing and hunting. Oh, he spent time in his cabin, survived by this. And wow. So you like fishing, hunting, and, you worked for the union for 38 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where's the impact on the world? Right.
Yeah.
Are you with the Lord? I can't tell from this obituary.
Yeah.
And that sounds really harsh, but that obituary should scream, he was on fire for Christ.
Yes, it should.
And you could not swing a cat without hitting someone talking about the impact that he had on their life.
Yeah.
And that is how you want your obituary to read. And so if you don't write it out that way, you should write it out that way, because it will force you to live that way.
Oh, man.
We were talking about time management before off air. And we wanted to ask you how you manage time, but it seems like when you write the conclusion first, everything else, all the time management stuff after that just follows that, right? It's creates the lenses for which you see life and how you make decisions. I've never heard it explained as write your obituary. You hear goals and you hear live intentional, but not your obituary.
It's the age-old saying, but all great leaders will say this: time management. You say no to 99% of things, and even this podcast, you guys wanted me for longer. I'm like, dude, I cut down. I'm like, I'm not going to give that long. I don't have that much time. Like, I got a lot to do.
My obituary is full. So
yeah, it's like, I say no to so much stuff. Just coming over here today, half hour before I came here, I got invited to something on Thursday night. It would be awesome to go to. Awesome. But my wife's going to be out of town and my kids are going to be home alone. And I said, no, like, I'm not going to go this thing. It'd be great to go to. But my son's a junior. Nora's a 7th grade. He's a junior. I got 1 more year with that kid. Yeah. Like, it's a Thursday night. No, I don't know what we'll do. We'll probably sit on the couch and not even talk to each other. But at least I'm going to be home with him.
Yeah.
So I just say no to so many things because my obituary is not going to say, on February 20, he went to this event in Sioux Falls and it was really good. Like, it's not important.
No, it's not.
So I say no to a crap ton of stuff in this job.
Yeah.
A ton of stuff.
Thank you for saying yes, Paul.
I'm not saying this like, you should feel so honored. I'm not saying it like that, but like,
you're not.
We made the
But I will say, when you are changing lives through right now, which it's on your obituary that you want to have impact.
Well,
this
fits with my mission, my life goal, which is to just inspire Christian living and inspire Christian values and worldview into other specifically for me, working men. That's kind of my calling, is to help men who all they're focused on is the bank account and the LinkedIn profile and just trying to become more impressive in their business in the corporate world. And I know just a lot of sad, hollow,
superficial,
overweight, broken home men who they have it all on the balance sheet and that's it. So,
so true.
And that's where we come in, because then we're trying to revive the heartbeat of the home, who will then learn how to love on her spouse really intimately and on purpose and speak to the king, not the fool, which then it's like we have to be able to be one and support one another, right? So in that dark and lonely, usually the other person is as well. And so we're trying to revive that to help marriages and families become on fire for Christ. Like, here's something that I was thinking about earlier. Like, your way of listening to the Lord is similar. And so for me, God will just drop something and I'm like, all right, well, that's a big task. Like 437 project and got a CEO. And like, I feel like you're on fire, always like not the next thing to fill your plate or to do just to have stuff to do. Like, you're going, Lord, what do you want me to do to make great impact for you and for the kingdom? And it's like, period, question mark. And then you wait and you listen. And these ideas become really big movements. Like, it's not just you deciding you want to go build a sculpture. Like, you'd be like, I think I maybe heard that wrong. That's not probably for me. Right? Like, is that how it works for you? Because for me, all of a sudden we have a nonprofit and a podcast and all these big events coming up. And Amos is like, dude, I'm like, but it fits. It doesn't feel like work when it is exactly what he's calling you to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, is that similar?
Yeah, totally.
Because people got to think you're a little crazy.
Yeah.
They think I am too. So it's great.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Right now, for instance, Jill and I are, there's this building that we want to buy. And I love it. I love this building. It's so cool. I could move my office for my next chapter in there. And I'm like, but how does that further my mission of who I am and how I want to reach people? And now I own a building and I got to deal with property management and, HVAC issues and tenants and CAM and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is going to be a distraction. It's a freaking sweet building and it'd be fun to have and it would be a good investment, but it would be a distraction.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I'm going to do it. And I'm talking myself out of it as I'm sitting here. Because, Jill and I are like wrestling with it. And so the earthly side of me, the side that chases mammon, is like, yeah, you should do it, But The eternal side is like, that's just a thing. It's just another asset that will occupy mind share and will take money and will,
So the obituary is not going to say building owner.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing in that obituary I've written that he was a property owner
Right.
in Sioux Falls. Like,
That's a good example of why the obituary matters so much, because you could really make it a strong argument for this could be this could be a revenue stream, which frees you up to do ministry. Right. That's one way to think about it. Or then, but maybe it doesn't. I could see how you could go 50-50 one way or the other. And then your obituary.
And you can justify things. You can justify like, well, parable of the talents is like, oh, there's a building and I can buy it and it's an investment. And so like, I'm using your money and I'm multiplying it by putting it into this asset and I'm going to grow it because I'll be able to exit it in 10 years and it will have appreciated. And so you can
all perfectly sane.
People find ways to justify their earthly desires all the time through Christian, quote unquote, kind of values and ideals, like, oh, I'm going to buy that lake home. You know why? Because God wants me to be happy and enjoy, I've worked hard and just like I enjoy seeing my kids open presents, God enjoys seeing me happy and getting new things. And so I can justify that. And, people find a way to justify anything. But deep down, in your heart, it's called the Holy Spirit when you're supposed to do something or not.
It's very evident when you are in tune. You are a collector of people too. That is another thing. Even though you don't want them to text you or call you.
I know that probably came out wrong. I mean, you text me and call me, but
it's tiring. It's tiring. We get it. But like, you're a collector of people. Like, when God puts something on your heart, I feel like you know who to go to, which is really a special thing. Like, you have a lot of really great people in your life, and you've met through these chapters of being mayor and the cover of a magazine and all these accolades that you've achieved a lot. I mean, Ironman, what's your top thing you've done physically?
Probably like full Ironman.
The full Ironman, right? So you've challenged yourself both mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. Like, you have gone to the brink, but you haven't broke. Like, it's a really beautiful
I broke
thing.
Publicly.
You broke publicly?
I haven't broke
publicly.
publicly.
Let's not do it today. I mean, maybe. Not like that.
But I mean, you say like, oh, you haven't broke.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's what people see. And then there's, we all have our own challenges,
Yeah.
Going back to COVID absolutely broke me 1,000% mentally.
There was a moment, I'll never forget it, when we were at the barn and you were sharing what the future of Sioux Falls was going to look like. And it was November of COVID, or it was the November after COVID. And everyone was asking you a bunch of questions. And I don't know if you remember what I asked you, but you were standing up there and you could tell you were done, drained. And I stood up, my heart was pounding, and I felt the Holy Spirit say, ask Paul how we can be praying for him and his family. And you paused and you had to wipe tears. I don't know if you remember that or not. I
cried a lot that year.
It was a really special moment for that entire room. And it was cool to see how the Holy Spirit moved in your spirit in that moment. Because you're like, wow, that's not a question that gets asked enough. And you went into just a really beautiful thing about the protection of your family, because you were under a lot of threats, even, just physically. So that was a special moment. But you didn't break. I mean, you're still here. You still carried the torch in so many ways as husband and as Paul and mayor and father and all the things. Like, it's really been, for us, it's been wonderful to watch and to be able to pray over you and your family through this entire, since I've met you. It's been awesome to support you.
It's been a grind.
Thank you, Paul. We loved having you, and we're excited to chat with your wife and your daughter here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to say?
So tune in again. We will see you back here with his wife, Jill.
This episode is sponsored by Fortitude Ministries. Thank you to those ministry partners who help make this possible.